Hello. We are Group 11 for Business 660, which consists of Terrence Fonte, Jack Wilson, Nicole Schmidt, Jacob Rominger, and Sabrina Bond. Today we will be presenting our group project in regards to Amazon antitrust issues and the lawsuit of the FTC and 17 various states versus Amazon. For today's project presentation, Jack and Nicole will provide an introduction into who Amazon is and set up the foundation for today's discussion. They will provide a quick background into the lawsuit against Amazon, what Amazon's FBA, or also known as Fulfillment by Amazon, is, what Project Nessie is, and provide some of the issues presented by the allegations against Amazon, as well as Amazon's response to the lawsuit. Terrence and Jacob will dive deeper into the analysis and reasoning behind why we believe as a group Amazon did indeed violate antitrust policies and regulations. Lastly, Sabrina will wrap up our presentation with insight to our conclusion of the case as a group.
According to Amazon's website, they are Earth's biggest selection of books, electronics, apparel, and more at low prices. In 1994, Jeff Bezos founded Amazon in Bellevue, Washington. Amazon says it is guided by 4 principles: customer obsession rather than competitor focus, passion for invention, commitment to operational excellence, and long-term thinking. Amazon has been accused of being a monopolist who suffocates competitors and raises prices for sellers as well as shoppers.
So for some background information on our chosen case, the Federal Trade Commission, along with 17 state attorney generals, sued Amazon on September 26, 2023. The case centers around Amazon's alleged anti-competitive behavior in the online marketplace industry. The plaintiffs accuse Amazon of engaging in a variety of tactics aimed at maintaining its monopoly power and stifling competition. By tying Prime eligibility to the use of Fulfillment by Amazon, Amazon allegedly limits competition by locking in massive volumes of shipments exclusively to its platform, limiting opportunities for independent fulfillment providers and reducing the seller's choice. Amazon is also accused of deploying a secretive scheme named Project Nessie to induce other online stores to raise their prices, allowing Amazon to extract additional profits from shoppers. The algorithmic tool allegedly predicted the likelihood that competitors would follow Amazon's price increases, enabling Amazon to raise prices without losing customers. So in summary, the case highlights the complex interplay between Amazon's market dominance, its control over pricing and fulfillment services, and the broader implications for competition and consumer welfare in the online retail sector.
Amazon released a statement regarding the lawsuit against them. Amazon suggests that over the last several years, they have cooperated with the FTC during various investigations within their company. Amazon later states that if the lawsuit is successful, it would actually harm the customer rather than help, such as increasing in prices across e-commerce, offering slower and less reliable shipping for Prime, and ultimately making Prime more expensive and less convenient to customers. Amazon goes on to list the negative impacts the lawsuit could bring and explains how their business model works. Amazon states that when they set prices, they try to match other retailers' price points either online or offline. They say that all independent sellers set their own prices on Amazon's store, but they help in making competitive pricing through educational tools and resources to be more profitable. Amazon does not highlight or promote offers that are not competitive when it comes to pricing to ensure their feature ads are geared towards low pricing for customers. According to Amazon's statement, there are over 500,000 independent businesses in the US alone who use Amazon, and they've created 1.5 million jobs. In 1999, Amazon began inviting independent sellers to their stores. Sellers have increased their sales to 60% on Amazon alone. Their biggest claim to fame is FBA, where Amazon will take care of all the logistics to allow the company to focus on growing. Amazon Prime and the innovation behind it allow for customer satisfaction and ease of use, where across Prime Day in 2023, more than half of Prime users receive their orders same day or the next day across the largest metro areas. Amazon has also offered Prime shipping to D2C, direct to customer via Buy with Prime, which has showed favorable results for customers to increase sales. According to Amazon's statement, customers still buy over 80% of retail items in physical locations, which leads to low margins for retailers itself, but multiple options for the seller to sell their products based off of the competition of customers going from store to store to try and find the best deal possible. This argument tries to showcase Amazon as just another option for customers. Per the article, Amazon states, "We fundamentally disagree with the FTC's allegations, which are in many cases wrong or misleading, and with their overreaching and misguided approach to antitrust, which would harm consumers, hurt independent businesses, and upend long-standing and well-considered doctrines. We will contest this lawsuit, and we will also continue inventing to put our customers, both consumers and the businesses that sell in our store, first."
The issues of this case which are presented as questions for further analysis are: can the U.S. government show that Amazon broke antitrust laws by using monopolistic tactics? As a legal issue, is Amazon's tying of Prime eligibility to sellers' use of fulfillment by Amazon services a violation of antitrust laws, specifically regarding monopolistic practices and unfair competition? And as an ethical issue, is Amazon's use of Project Nessie, an algorithmic tool designed to raise prices on its platform and induce other online stores to follow suit, an unethical exploitation of its market dominance resulting in harm to consumers and sellers?
So on this slide, we will be doing analysis and reasoning. According to the New York Times, Amazon's tactics, as alleged by the FTC, has made it impossible for its rivals to compete, making it a monopolist and violating Section 2 of the Sherman Act. Section 2 of the Sherman Act states that every person who shall monopolize or attempt to monopolize or combine or conspire with any other person or persons to monopolize any part of the trade or commerce among the several states or with foreign nations shall be deemed guilty of a felony. So basically, the FTC has identified monopolistic acts committed by Amazon and thinks it breaks the Sherman Act, and they're looking into it.
Amazon has been accused of unlawfully maintaining monopolies through illegal and unethical conduct to ensure anti-competitive strategies strengthen their dominance in the e-commerce field. Amazon uses anti-discounting tactics to further suppress price competition and actually inflate prices across the internet. They penalize sellers that use the FBA feature that offer lower prices through their Amazon relationship and acts as a disciplinary tactic to their rivals who try to sell products and goods at lower prices across competitive platforms. According to the New York Times, Amazon also has a special algorithm known as the buy box. This unique feature is what customers see on their shopping page when looking at products, and the app generates the buy now or add to cart feature on their mobile device or the web browser. If Amazon sees the same product or something similar to the product on a competitive site, it will remove these two buttons from the buy box and replace it with alternative language or various designs that are not appealing to the recent spending or shopping habits that the customer has. This ultimately discourages customers from shopping at other sites. This tactic almost creates a fake sense of hacking or fake URL links to promote the buyer to stay on Amazon instead of potentially being hacked through their web browser or their mobile device application. Another form of Amazon's potentially monopoly power in breaking laws is its very own team of engineers who surf the internet for price matching. According to the FTC lawsuit, Amazon has an internal team called the Competitive Monitoring Team, whose sole purpose is to crawl the internet for prices and products around the globe. This specific team and tactic is used to punish other sellers across the globe, eliminating fair price competition, further bolstering monopoly powers. Within this team, they also have strict contractual agreements that have strong penalties to those who sell products at lower prices, which, if extreme, could mean total banishment from selling on Amazon Marketplace, creating a bully-like figure in the e-commerce world. As we continue with our analysis and reasoning, I will be handing it off to Terrence to further discuss the following topic points: 1. Ethical analysis. 2. Consumer welfare. 3. Fairness. 4. Trust and transparency. 5. Legal analysis. 6. Monopolistic practices. And 7. Unfair competition.
So on this slide, we'll continue with our analysis and reasoning. We'll begin with ethical analysis. Amazon's conduct, particularly its use of Project Nessie to manipulate prices, raises significant ethical concerns. The purposeful inflation of prices, both on its platform and by inducing other online stores to raise their prices, reflects a prioritization of profit maximization over ethical considerations such as fairness and consumer welfare. Now, let's talk about consumer welfare. By artificially raising prices, Amazon effectively harms consumers by depriving them of the benefits of fair competition. Consumers may end up paying higher prices for products without receiving corresponding increases in value or quality, undermining the principle of consumer welfare. Now, let's talk about fairness. Ethically, companies are expected to engage in fair competition that allows for a level playing field. Amazon's use of Project Nessie to manipulate prices distorts the competitive landscape by unfairly disadvantaging competitors and limit consumer choice. This undermines the principle of fairness and integrity in business practices. Now, we'll talk about trust and transparency. Amazon's use of opaque algorithms to manipulate prices undermines trust and transparency in its operations. Consumers and sellers expect transparency and honesty in prices, and the secretive nature of Project Nessie contradicts these expectations. This lack of transparency erodes trust in Amazon's brand and business practices. We shall continue with our analysis and reasoning. We shall look at legal analysis. From a legal perspective, Amazon's tying of Prime eligibility to the use of its Fulfillment by Amazon, also known as FBA, service presents potential violations of antitrust laws, specifically regarding monopolistic practices and unfair competition. Now, monopolistic practices. Amazon's requirement for sellers to use FBA in order to qualify for Prime eligibility may be considered anti-competitive behavior aimed at maintaining its dominance in the online marketplace by foreclosing alternatives and artificially raising costs for the sellers. Amazon may be abusing its market power to stifle competition and maintain its monopoly position. Now look at unfair competition. Amazon's conduct limits sellers' ability to compete freely and fairly in the marketplace, undermining the principles of fair competition. By coercing sellers into using its fulfillment services, Amazon restricts their options and disadvantages competitors who offer independent fulfillment services. These unfair advantages may violate laws aimed at promoting fair competition and preventing anti-competitive practices.
Reflecting on our initial concern, our analysis leads us to the conclusion that the U.S. government has grounds to claim that Amazon has violated antitrust laws through monopolistic maneuvers. From both a legal and ethical standpoint, Amazon's actions has fostered unfair competition and exploited its market dominance unethically, as evident by Project Nessie unfavorably affecting consumers and sellers alike. Considering the gravity of Amazon's conduct, the court could enforce various equitable remedies. These remedies might include injunctions demanding Amazon to halt preferential treatment of its products, refrain from engaging in predatory pricing, or cease monopolistic practices. Additionally, the court could consider divestiture as a potential remedy, requiring Amazon to restructure its entities into subsidiaries that operate independently, thereby fostering an environment conducive to new competition. A comprehensive approach to addressing Amazon's monopolistic behavior could involve requiring fundamental changes to its business practices aimed at fostering competition. This could entail court-ordered adoption of non-discriminatory policies for third-party sellers or the implementation of measures ensuring fair access to its platform. In addition to the remedies mentioned earlier, the court may also consider other measures to address Amazon's antitrust violations. Monetary sanctions could be imposed to reflect the severity of the breaches and the consequential harm inflicted upon consumers and competitors, serving as a deterrent against future misconduct. Implementing price controls could restrict Amazon's capacity for engaging in predatory pricing, safeguarding fair market competition. Furthermore, the appointment of independent monitors could be deemed necessary to oversee Amazon's conduct diligently and ensure ongoing compliance with antitrust regulations, thus fostering accountability and maintaining a level playing field within the marketplace.